योगः कर्मसु कौशलम्.
Hello friends, I am Professor Sranik Shah. Today in this session, I will discuss the concept of decision making with reference to profit planning. Meaning of profit planning. Profit planning is a function of management which requires adequate knowledge of the interrelationship of selling prices, sales volume, variable cost and fixed cost. Marginal costing together with cost volume profit analysis guides management regarding profit position at different levels of output and product mix, so that management can operate the business at optimum level where profit is maximum. Hence, marginal costing is a useful tool in planning profits as it ensures sufficient return on capital employed. Cost considerations for taking a decision for profit planning. Number 1, spare capacity. Number 2, element of risk involved. Number 3, the cost of manufacturing the part. Number 4, alternative profitable use. Number 5, the additional fixed cost. Number 6, additional capital investment. Now let us come to non-cost considerations. In addition to profitability considerations, the business manager must evaluate certain other non-cost considerations. With the dropping of a product, the sales of related products may be adversely affected, that is, if the products are complementary or jointly demanded. If soft drinks are no longer available to customers, Pizza's Corner might lose some pizza sales as well. Procedure for taking a decision for profit planning. Number 1, produce a precise specification of the unit cost and probable sale price of the product. Number 2, analyze the existing capacity to find out if the additional units can be made and sold in accordance with specifications for quality, quantity and delivery schedule. Number 3, calculate the incremental cost of making the item, that is, the full accounting cost of the labor and direct material used to make it. The incremental cost will equal the marginal cost if and only if factory capacity is sufficiently underutilized before the make or buy decision is taken to render all fixed cost irrelevant to the decision. Number 4, assess the opportunity cost of making the product as measured by the total contribution that would have been earned using the resources required to manufacture the same instead of an alternative more profitable product. Number 5, weigh the results of the various assessments listed above. A thorough analysis as outlined above will ensure that all the capacity, capability, differential cost and opportunity cost factors will have been taken fully into consideration before the decision is made. Price mix decision. When a firm can produce 2 or more products from the same production facilities and the demand of each product is affected by the change in their prices, the management may have to choose price mix which will give the maximum profits, particularly when the production capacity is limited. In such a situation, the firm should compute all the possible combinations and select a price mix which yields the maximum profitability. Now let us come to customer profitability. Customer profitability analysis becomes imperative in deciding about adding or dropping customers and segments. Here, the cost object is a customer or a segment. Relevant cost analysis and relevant revenue analysis for decision using customers rather than products facilitate decision making. The important questions are: what are the relevant cost and relevant revenues? What impact will it have on the profitability of the firm if a particular customer or a segment be more profitable utilized? Can the facilities available due to dropping a customer or a segment be more profitably utilized? Let us come to the illustration. An engineering company is engaged in producing 4 products through operations at welding and pressing departments. Products W1 and W2 are produced by welders in the welding department, whereas products P1 and P2 are produced by press operations in the pressing department. Due to specific skill requirements, the welders and press operators can only work in their own department. The following relevant data are available in respect of the products. The columns are particulars and 4 columns for the products, that is W1, W2, P1, P2. Hours required per unit for W1 4, W2 4, P1 5, P2 2. Selling price per unit 48 for W1, 50 for W2, 77 for P1, 69 for P2. Direct material cost per unit for W1 it is 18, W2 it is 22, for P1 it is 32 and P2 44. Direct labor hourly rate is 4 across all the 4 products. Variable overhead rate per unit is 2 for the product W1, W2 and 3 for product P1 and P2. The company incurs rupees 50,000 per annum towards fixed cost. The maximum available hours are 20,000 and 16,000 for welding and pressing departments respectively. The demands keep on fluctuating, but the minimum demands which are to be met as per management's decision are 2000 units of W1, 2500 units of W2, 1800 units of P1 and 2200 units of P2. The production manager suggests that the welders and press operators can be trained to perform both welding and pressing jobs, so that excess demand of any of the products can be met. This decision is going to increase the burden of fixed cost by rupees 5,000 per annum. Prepare the profitability statement and recommend with reasons and appropriate workings whether it is advisable to train the welders and press operators as suggested by the production manager. Let us have the solution of illustration 1. Statement of ranking and profitability before training. We will have the 6 columns. The first column of department, second column welding where the products will be W1, W2, third and fourth will be pressing where the product will be P1, P2 and the last column total. Selling price per unit rupees 48 for W1, rupees 50 for W2, rupees 77 for P1, 69 for P2. Variable cost per unit it is rupees 36 for W1, rupees 40 for W2, 55 for P1 and 55 for P2. Contribution per unit, that is 1 minus 2, it is 12 for W1, it is 10 for W2, it is 22 for P1 and 14 for P2. Labor hours per unit, that is a key factor. So, 4 for W1, 4 for W2, 5 for P1, 2 to P2. So, now let us calculate contribution per labor hour, that is 3 divided by 4, that is rupees 3 for W1, 2.5 for W2, 4.4 for P1 and 7 for P2. Now, we have to rank the product based on the contribution per labor hour, but as the departments are 2, we will have the different ranking for both the departments. So, 1 for W1 and 2 for W2, whereas in pressing department 1 for P2 and second for P1. Now, let us move to the production. As the minimum production requirement for W1 is 2000, for W2 it is 2500, for P1 it is 1800 and P2 it is 2200, we will go to that and then we will find out the use of labor hours for that minimum production, that is 8000 for W1, 10,000 for W2, 9,000 for P1, 4,400 for P2, totaling 31,400. Now, the 4600 hours are left with us. For that, we have to allocate this 4600 hours to the product having the top priority within the 2 departments, welding and pressing. In welding, W1 is the first priority product. So, additional output will be 500 units, we will be using 2000 labor hours, whereas within the pressing department product P2 having a priority. So, we will be manufacturing 1300 additional units for P2 consuming 2600 labor hours. So, total production in units for W1 will be 2500, W2 2500, P1 1800, P2 3500. Total contribution, that is the total production into contribution per unit, it is rupees 30,000 for welding W1, 25,000 for welding W2, 39,600 for pressing P1, 49,000 for pressing P2, totaling our total contribution 1,43,600. From this, when we subtract the fixed cost of 50,000, our net profit 93,600. After training, the capacity will be taken as a whole at 36,000 hours because of interchangeability of available labor force. The ranking will be done on the basis of contribution per hour among all the 4 products, since a workman is trained to work in any departments. Based on the above table, ranking will be as under: rank 1 P2, rank 2 P1, rank 3 W1, rank 4 W2. Now, let us have the statement of profitability after training. We will have total 6 columns, where the first column is particulars, the column 2, 3, 4, 5 are products W1, W2, P1 and P2 respectively, and the last column total. Minimum production in units for W1 2000, W2 2500, P1 1800, P2 2200. Use of labor hours for minimum production, it is 8000 hours for W1, 10,000 hours for W2, 9,000 hours for P1 and 4400 for P2, totaling 31,400 hours. Now, out of the available total hours, we have spare hours of 4,600, and that 4,600 hours we will be utilizing for the top rank product P2, from which we can have the additional production of 2,300 units. Now, total contribution from the total production will be for W1 24,000 rupees, W2 25,000 rupees, P1 39,600 and P2 63,000, where total contribution will be 1,51,600 from all the 4 products. From it we will subtract the fixed cost 55,000, where profit is 96,600. Now, let us come to second illustration. Salaway Limited manufactures and markets 2 products A and B, the demand in the market of which fluctuates with the prices quoted. As a result of the deliberations of its recent sales conference, the following data were agreed upon as a working basis. We will have the columns where the first column is particulars, next 3 columns for the product A with various selling prices, and the further 3 columns of product B with the various selling prices. The first information: selling price per unit rupees 32, 30, 28 for X, similarly 22, 20 and 18 for B. At the above selling price, the expected demand per month in number will be 900 for product A when the selling price is 32, 1000 when selling price is 30, 1500 when selling price is 2800, and for product B 1600 units when selling price is 22, 2000 units when selling price is 20 and 3000 units when selling price is 18. 8 labor hours are required to produce product A and 4 labor hours required to produce product B, and the maximum capacity of the factory is restricted to 20,000 labor hours per month. The cost structure per unit of production is as under, where we have 3 columns particulars and 2 columns of product A, product B. Direct material per unit 4 for A, 3 for B, direct labor 6 for A, 5 for B, variable overheads 10 for A, 6 for B. So, total cost 20 for A and 14 for B. Fixed overheads are rupees 32,400 per quarter. You are required to compute the possible combinations and arrive at a proper price mix for maximum profitability. Now, let us come to the solution of illustration 2. Statement of marginal cost and contribution of products. We will have the 7 columns, where the first column is particulars, second, third and fourth column for product A, then last 3 columns for product B. Sales price per unit product A 32, 30 and 28. Similarly, for product B it is rupees 22, 20 and 18. Demand per month in number for A 900 units when selling price is 32. Similarly, 1000 for selling price when it is 30, 1500 when selling price is 28 for A. 1600 the quantity for product B when selling price is 22, 2000 is a quantity for product B when selling price is 20 and 3000 is a quantity for product B when selling price is 18. Total labor hours required in order to manufacture the demanded product is 7200 hours, 8000 hours, 12,000 hours, 6400 hours, 8000 hours and 12,000 hours. Variable cost per unit is 20 for all the 3 different prices level for product A. Similarly, it is rupees 14 for all different 3 prices level for product B. Contribution per unit for product A when selling price is 32 is 12, when selling price 30 is 10, when selling price 28 it is 8. For product B when selling price is 22 it is rupees 8, when selling price is 20 it is rupees 6 and when selling price is 18 it is rupees 4. So, now let us calculate the contribution per hour, that is contribution per unit divided by labor hours required for unit. So, it is 1.5 for product A when selling price is 32, 1.25 for product A when selling price is 30, 1 when selling price is 28. Now, we move to the product B when selling price is 22, the contribution per hour will be 2 rupees, when selling price is 20 it is 1.5 and when selling price is 18 it is rupee 1. So, total contribution will be 10,800 if selling price is 32, 10,000 rupees if selling price is 30, 12,000 rupees if selling price is 28 for product A. Now, come to the product B. If selling price is 22, the contribution will be 12,800. When selling price is 20, it is rupees 12,000 and when selling price is 18, it is rupees 12,000. Now, let us come to the statement of possible combinations. For that, we will have the 4 columns. First 2 columns for the products A, B, third column contribution and fourth column labor hours required. We will write down the different prices, that is for A it is 32, 32, 32, 30, 30, 30, 28 and 28. For B it is 22, 20, 18, 22, 20, 18, 22, 20, 18. The contribution as earlier we have calculated, we will write down the total contribution when the combination is A 32 price, B 22 is 23,600, labor hours required are 13,600. The second where the selling price is 32 and 20 for AB, it is 22,800 contribution, 15,200 labor hours. In a third combination, 22,800 is a contribution, 19,200 is the labor hours. In a fourth combination, that contribution is 22,800 and labor hours 14,400. In a fifth combination, the contribution is 22,000 and labor hours 16,000. In a sixth combination, contribution will be 22,000, labor hours 20,000. The seventh combination where contribution is 24,800 and labor hours 18,400. In a eighth combination, contribution is 24,000 and labor hours 20,000. And in a ninth combination, the contribution is 24,000 and labor hours required 24,000. The above computation shows that maximum contribution of 24,800 is possible at 18,400 hours. Therefore, profitable price mix is A 28 and B rupees 22. Now, let us come to the illustration 3. AB Limited, a furniture manufacturing firm, used activity based costing for allocation of its overhead cost. It sells its products through 3 retailers A, B and C. The following estimated cost and revenues relating to the next year are given. We will have 5 columns where the first column is particulars, the next 3 columns will be for the product A, B, C and the last is total. Cost of goods sold for A 74,000, B 44,000, C 66,000. So, totaling 1,84,000. Labor 8,200, 3,600, 6,600 respectively for A, B, C totaling 18,400. Equipment depreciation 2,400 rupees, 800 rupees, 1,800 rupees respectively for product A, B and C totaling 5,000. Rent of a warehouse, it is 2,800 for A, 1,600 for B, 2,800 for C totaling 7,200. Marketing overheads 2,200 for A, 1,800 for B, 2,000 for C totaling 6,000. Purchase orders processing 2,600 for A, 1,400 for B, 2,400 for C totaling 6,400. General administration overheads 6,000 for A, 3,600 for B, 4,800 for C totaling 14,400. Total cost for A it is 98,200, for B 56,800, for C 86,400 totaling 2,41,400. Total revenue 1 lakh for A, 60,000 for B, 80,000 for C totaling 2,40,000. Estimated profits 1,800 for A, 3,200 for B and negative for C, that is 6,400 totaling net loss 1,400. Additional information: material handling, that is labor cost, varies with number of units of furniture supplied. Different areas of the warehouse are marked for keeping furniture for different customers. The equipment is identified with individual customer and if not used will remain idle. The next, rent is allocated on the basis of space of warehouse reserved for customers. Next, marketing cost vary with sales. Fifth, purchase order cost vary with the number of purchase orders. Sixth, the total administrative cost will not change even if the customer C is dropped. The furniture manufacturer proposes to drop customer C because of expected loss of rupees 6,400. It is also explored to let out the space allotted for customer C. Required to prepare a statement showing profitability or otherwise of the proposal to drop customer C on the assumption that the released activities will remain idle, can be rented for rupees 5,000 per annum. Now, let us come to the solution of illustration 3. Statement of profitability of dropping a customer will have the two columns, particulars and rupees column. Loss of revenue if customer C is dropped is 80,000, that is the sales which we generated from product C. Savings in cost, that is cost of goods sold 66,000, material handling, that is labor 6,600, marketing overheads 2,000, purchase order processing 2,400, total savings in cost 77,000. So, impact on profit, it will be negative, that is 3,000. So, if customer C is dropped, the firm would lose 3,000 per annum, hence the manufacturer should continue with customer C. However, if the space is let out, the position will change as incremental revenue rupees 5,000 less reduction in profit 3,000, increase in profits will be 2,000. Now, let us come to the summary. In this module, we learned the meaning of profit planning, price mix decision and customer profitability. We also studied the factors affecting the decision related to profit planning and the procedure normally followed for taking the decision related to profit planning. Thank you.